The childhood of a narcissist. Like other psychological issues and personality disorders, the roots of narcissism are directly related to child-rearing practices. While genetic predispositions may also influence narcissism, factors such as family dynamics and early life upbringing play a fundamental role in its development. So how does an innocent child transform into a narcissistic emotional abuser? Although there is no single specific family dynamic that produces a narcissist, certain parenting styles and behaviors are believed to open the door to this mental disorder. One key parental behavior is constant and excessive criticism. Every child enters the world vulnerable and fragile, and from the very beginning, children depend on their parents' love, attention, and protection. If the family establishes a healthy attachment, the child can grow into a confident individual with high self-respect and self-love. However, if parents fail to bond appropriately and instead constantly criticize the child, forcing them to walk on eggshells, the child develops insecurity and anxiety toward life, people, and their surroundings from an early age. Being unloved or harshly criticized, even by the very family, meant to provide unconditional love can instill deep shame and feelings of worthlessness. Even in adulthood, shame remains a difficult emotion to manage. For a young child, it can be profoundly destructive. To cope, the child may retreat inward, deciding to provide themselves with the unconditional and limitless love they did not receive. In their mind, they are special, deserving boundless admiration and love, and can only be understood by others who are equally exceptional. Another problematic parental behavior is excessive pampering and idealization. While it is natural for parents to see their child as somewhat special, some families go to extreme lengths, offering praise and admiration without basis in reality. Children who are excessively pampered may begin to see themselves as inherently entitled, existing beyond societal rules. Though excessive pampering may appear benign, it can constitute emotional abuse. Children who feel inherently entitled may become frustrated and resentful in adulthood when the environment fails to replicate the admiration they received from their parents. In some families, criticism and excessive praise coexist. One parent may criticize while the other showers gifts, or the same parent may alternate between the two. This inconsistency can lead the child to simultaneously wrestle with shame and inadequacy while developing a belief in their own specialness. Such environments are particularly conducive to the creation of covert narcissists. Other inconsistent parental behaviors or fluctuating moods can further harm children psychologically. Overprotective or emotionally cold families also contribute to the development of narcissistic traits. Overprotective parents may send the subliminal message that the world is unsafe and that the child possesses something extremely important and unique, requiring constant care. These children may grow into adults who demand protection, special treatment, and the fulfillment of their needs by others. Children who experience conditional love are also at risk. Every child seeks unconditional love as a psychological necessity, not a luxury. Unfortunately, many families provide love only conditionally, rewarding compliance and punishing nonconformity. Such environments can lead children to suppress their true selves and adopt a mask to obtain affection and recognition. Some narcissists experience severe physical, sexual, or psychological abuse in childhood. Survivors often develop coping mechanisms, sometimes modeling the abuser's behavior to avoid future victimization, potentially becoming manipulators themselves. For narcissists, their superiority and manipulative tendencies function as a protective tool, ensuring they never fall victim again. In addition to extremes, neglect can also contribute to narcissism. Emotional neglect in childhood may prevent children from recognizing or processing their feelings, leading to mistrust, shame, and anger. Neglected children may also learn manipulative behaviors at an early age to get their needs met. Finally, having a narcissistic parent can perpetuate the cycle. Children learn their first relational patterns from their parents and often model their behavior accordingly. Children raised by narcissistic parents observe and internalize survival strategies, including emotional self-protection. Empathy, which is not innate but learned, may be absent in these children, who grow up self-centered and deprived of modeling appropriate social behavior. Unfortunately, many narcissistic parents were themselves raised by narcissists, allowing this cycle to continue across generations until someone interrupts it. In summary, children raised in families lacking appropriate attention, love, and attachment, especially sensitive children with a genetic predisposition, may develop narcissistic traits. Not all children with such backgrounds become narcissists. Individual coping mechanisms vary. For example, one neglected child may learn manipulative strategies to get their needs met, while another may internalize the experience, becoming more compliant or self-effacing. Both scenarios adversely affect emotional development. In some environments, narcissism may even emerge as a logical survival strategy. Ultimately, beneath the charismatic, confident exterior of an adult narcissist lies a child who did not successfully navigate developmental stages, lacked sufficient love, and carries anger and mistrust toward life. They have created a false self to survive emotionally. Over time, this protective shell may become so rigid that it prevents authentic self-expression. While other children naturally shed their early narcissism, realizing they are just as special and important as anyone else, the narcissist remains trapped under childhood defense mechanisms. Understanding this perspective allows us to see the cruel narcissist as once a victim, a frustrated, angry child whose emotional development was stunted. However, regardless of psychological explanations, no one has the right to manipulate or control others. Narcissists' victims deserve empathy, as recognizing their own worth enables them, and those who truly care about them, to initiate meaningful change.